Welcome in, Dark Hearts. I'm Wolfie.
And Mooney, and this is your Nerd Network News. Well, call us Jasmine because we've got the tea on Netflix's Avatar live-action adaptation. The costume, makeup, character designs was on point. Appa looked awesome, Momo was cute. We'll come back to Momo later. And mentioning the character designs of spirits during the Spirit World episode absolutely blew me away. Honestly, I never thought we'd see that accurate of spiritual characters in a live-action show.
So how do you adapt and do justice to such a masterpiece from everyone's childhood? Well, you're looking at combining a few storylines, moving a few events around, utilizing the additional materials like the comics and the light novels, mix it all together with a healthy dose of understood the assignment, and you've got Netflix's live-action adaptation. We were all really concerned when the original creators stepped away, but after watching the series, I'm going to take a guess as to what the creative differences were. Netflix takes a much more realistic and dark turn. All of the unfortunate realities of a world torn apart by war were mostly under the rug in the original series, obviously because this was a Nick show that needed to be appropriate for all children. In Netflix's version, they're going to introduce you to several of the very harsh and devastating realities of war.
And speaking of skeletons, we gotta talk about that skeleton for Gyatso.
You mean the one they bought at Spirit Halloween? I think we can be forgiving on some prop shortcuts. They used every drop of their animation budget.
The CGI for this show was the chef's kiss on the creme brulee.
A lot of other reviewers will tell you that this series suffers from clunky exposition. My take on it is that it really reminded me of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. The first large chunk of that series was so hard to get through because they were obviously doing a bit of a speed run of some of the emotional impact moments we had seen before. Netflix decided to take the route of having much of the exposition for this story be explained by various elders throughout the series. And you've got to remember that the series also has to hold its own for brand new viewers who never saw the original. I think the only reason the exposition comes off so clunky is because most of us saw the original Avatar.
One of the big things I love about the Netflix adaptation is they expanded on character plotlines that were just a given in the original show, and expanding upon Uncle Iroh and Zuko's relationship. During Liu Ten's funeral, we hear a very beautiful orchestral version of Leaves from the Vine, and that whole scene builds why Zuko and Iroh are so close.
Another set of characters and storyline that we see expanded on, Katara, Yue, and the whole Northern Water Tribe story. And let me just say, they blew it out of the water. Katara v. Paku was a little bit underwhelming, but the end is so much more worth the payoff. I love seeing how much more they add to the character of Yue. We get to see her being so much more capable and a more three-dimensional character than she even was in the original Avatar. And if you're paying attention, you can absolutely catch the nod that the Netflix creators gave to some of our favorite headcanons about Princess Yue and Aang.
You just had to bring that episode up again. Hashtag not our baby Momo.
You know, that's just another 10 points to Netflix here. They had us on the edge of our seats screaming at the TV, and we've already seen 2 different versions of these scenes.
I love the character of Sokka and his development in the adaptation. The most important lesson Sokka could have learned in this series is that you don't need to be a warrior to be a hero, a chief, or a man. The Netflix adaptation expanded on him being the meat and sarcasm guy, and I am here for it. The fact that you can be a man and pursue creative endeavors and not just physical prowess. I love that. Even though some people viewed his sexism as integral to his character, the show manages to address the same issues with gender norms while allowing Sokka to be even more relatable.
We know the original show took a jab at gender norms. Netflix ran it through with a claymore. We are so done in the modern era of being told you can and can't do something just because we've been doing it that way for a really long time. But we can't finish this review without mentioning one of the most awesome parts of this adaptation is we get to spend a lot more time with the previous avatars. You guys are just gonna have to check out the Netflix adaptation, and we cannot wait until they do season 2 and 3.
Are you sure you're excited for season 2? I am, but I don't know if I want to see Appa's Last Days again.
Oh gosh, and Appa looks so cute in this adaptation. That is gonna hurt.
I'm also excited to meet Toph next season.
And in Season 3, if they think they can skip the Ember Island Players episode, we riot. And until next time, Dark Hearts.
My cabbages! NNN would like to thank our listeners for tuning in, and our radio sponsor, 1065 The Point.
Make sure you like and subscribe to darkheart_studios on YouTube, and follow our socials for full video versions of NNN, interviews, and live event coverage.
Thanks for listening, Dark Hearts. This is Mooney.
And Wolfie,
Signing off.